noite, good night everyone. We are here tonight at Ô de Casa Hostel in São Paulo, Brazil. And we are here to talk about traveling, volunteering, and life-changing experiences. We are here tonight with a very special guest, Eliora Popack. She's from Canada and she's going to tell us all her journey from being a flight attendant to traveling the world full-time and being a very promising content creator, just launching her career. I'm Nicole from the Worldpackers company. We are a volunteering and meeting people platform. And we're thrilled to have you tonight and to have you all here with us tonight. We hope this to be a very inspiring and event. We're super glad to have you here. The structure we'll do some talking here. We expect you to interact with us. All your questions or interactions is very welcome. We're going to have some Q&A moments as well, so we can talk about traveling. We want to hear your experiences as well. This is supposed to be a travel, like we're in a hostel, this is a travel talk. So let's make this inspiring so we can all leave here better than we arrive, shall we? So thank you, Eliora, for joining us tonight. Can you tell a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so hi guys, I'm Eliora, I'm from Canada. I started my journey as a flight attendant. I wasn't really sure the direction I wanted to go in when it came to careers when I was younger, starting off, doing everything. I started as a flight attendant and it was an amazing job in the beginning. I loved it. I started doing that. And I did it for almost 2 years, which was a crazy time to be committed to something at such a young age. And then it grew and it grew. The job was very demanding at times because I was just like traveling all the time and going to these countries, but only getting to stay there for such a short period of time.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to portray that in a way where it's like I can be happy and have a balance of happiness and a balance of working for a company. And it came to a point where I was not that happy anymore. I was always going to these countries and not being able to stay there and just trying to figure out what made me happy. And unfortunately it wasn't that. And I was working basically volunteering, because when you're a flight attendant you are volunteering most of the time. Like, you are not being paid for the time where you do security checks, you're not being paid for the time where you are in the airport, the time where you're talking with the clients. Like, you're only being paid for the time where the door closes to the door opens. So this became very complicated because I was doing an extremely demanding job, and I was not being paid for any of the time I was doing. You know, I was doing like 16 to 17 hour days and only being paid for like 6 to 7 hours. So it was very demanding on me. As time went on, to be honest, I fell into like a bit of a depression. I didn't feel happy within myself. I felt like I was doing something that I love, which was traveling and visiting these countries, but then I was going to these places and not being able to stay there, having to go home back to this place and work for a corporation, and it was not making me happy. I fell into a depression. I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself, and I kind of just sat there and didn't know what to do. Later then, I kind of figured out a plan. I was like, okay, I want to travel, but I don't know what to do. I don't know how to start. I don't know. And then it kind of fell into the time where my best friend was like, okay, like, let's go on a trip somewhere. Let's go do something. Let's clear your mind. Because at this point I was going through like a lot of sadness. I was not okay. I was sitting on my couch doing nothing with my time, doom scrolling through Instagram, like trying to figure out how I can travel, how I can do all these things. So she's like, get up, let's go do something. Let's go to Costa Rica. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't have money that much right now. Like, how are we going to go to Costa Rica? And she's like, no, like, let's go with Worldpackers. And I'm like, what is Worldpackers? So she starts like explaining to me the platform, explaining to me how it works, everything like that, how you can like volunteer and exchange your hours for accommodation, exchange your hours for meals. And I'm like, this doesn't seem real. Like, this does not seem like the thing that I can actually do. Like, I just have to exchange 5 hours a day to be able to volunteer and be able to stay in a country for free and long term. So I took the risk. I went with her. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go to Costa Rica. Let's see how it is and go from there. So we went to Costa Rica, and from that moment on, like, we were traveling, we were enjoying Costa Rica. We were at a surf camp there with a Worldpackers opportunity, and it was amazing. Like, the surf camp, we met so many friends. There was tons of girls. There's tons of people to connect with, to meet with.
Where in Costa Rica?
Tamarindo.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
So it's Tamarindo Surf Camp, Dream Sea is what it's called, and it was amazing. We were just like vibing, all girls and everything, everybody together, which is something, a sense of like community that I never really had before. I was in a relationship for a really long time when I was younger. I was in a relationship for 5 years with somebody, and he wasn't really into like traveling and discovering the world. which is fine. Like, you know, everybody has their values and what they want to do in life. But like for me, I really wanted to travel. I wanted to see the world, experience cultures. I'm like, my life is not meant to just sit at home and do nothing and go to a 9 to 5 and do my work and all these things. So I'm like, I need a change. So this is what it was. So we experienced Costa Rica, and one day, like, my best friend and I, like, we looked at each other and we were like, we're not going home, are we? And we made that decision together, and we both actually quit our jobs at this point. We quit our jobs, we continued traveling. We said, okay, like, we quit our jobs, but we're not going to be unrealistic. We're going to travel like another maybe week or two, and then we're going to go home, recalibrate, see what it is. And then at this point, this trip, for supposed to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks, turned into 4 months. So we ended up traveling for 4 months. It started in Costa Rica, and then we met a group of girls, 15 girls actually. So all of us were backpackers from all over the world, and we were like, let's do something crazy. So we actually walked the border of Nicaragua, like with our backpacks by ourselves, like from Costa Rica to Nicaragua. Like, we all went with our backpacks and just walked, and we were just like 15 girls walking the border.
That's crazy.
And everybody, like, at the border, all the Nicaraguan locals were like, what are you guys doing? Like, why are you guys walking this border right now? Because it's weird, like 15 girls by themselves, like all with backpacks and all like things with us, and they're like, what are you guys doing? So like, it made like a whole laughter for everyone. We're all just laughing about it. We get to Nicaragua, we went to a hostel there. We traveled a little bit around Nicaragua, seeing the vibe and stuff like that. We went to one hostel, we went to an event there. And then at this point, my best friend and I, we looked at each other and we're like, okay, but like, it's for real now, we're not actually going home, right? And then at that point we decided, okay, like, this is gonna be our life for a little bit. We stayed in this hostel, which is Bigfoot Hostel. It was an amazing experience. I spent 8 months there total.
Wow, that's a lot of time.
Yeah. And it was a dream from then on. Like, then it happened. We stayed for the 4 months. Stayed there, started traveling, started meeting people. I started falling in love with like this Worldpackers experience, like started actually believing in it. Like, this is actually a thing that's real right now. And then at that point, 4 months came to an end. It was time to go home. And then it was like, okay, what next? So I was kind of in like a little lump when I got back home too, because I'm like, I just had the most crazy experience of my life, and now I'm back home. So it's like, what do I do next?
Yeah. How was this feeling?
It was intense. It was intense because it was like completely refreshing though, you know, because I'm like, I need a reset. I need to do something different with my life. I know that I love travel. I know that I don't want to work for a corporation. I know I want to see things and meet people and meet cultures and do things with my life, you know? And then I was like brainstorming, how am I going to travel full time? Can I actually utilize Worldpackers to do it full time and be with Worldpackers all the time? Like, is it real that I can actually just apply to something and get accepted and do this for years on end? And the reality is, it is possible because I've been doing it the last 3 years. Cool. So it was a lot of stressful moments, like a lot of times where I'm feeling lonely within myself, feeling like I cannot do it, or like, what am I doing? Because I just didn't have the people around me who understood my path, you know? The people around me, my friends, my family, were all like, you cannot just volunteer your time and expect to create a life for yourself. Like, you need to go work a job, work for a corporation, do this, build up in the company and build a life. And I'm like, that's not the life that I want to live. That's not what I'm meant to do. And I tried to change that for myself. So I really started getting out there more. I ended up getting a job after applying to many different things because I was like, I love Worldpackers, but also I need a little bit of money to be able to volunteer, you know, in the reality sense of things. We want to volunteer, we want to see the world, we want to do things, but it's like, I also need money to be able to do the things that I want to do while traveling. For example, like all the habits that you do, all the activities that you want to do when you're traveling. Like, you know, you don't want to just be working, you also want to be exploring. So you need to have some sense of like budget and money and stuff like that. So I was kind of like figuring out the whole plan, and I had no idea what to do. So it was a lot of stressful moments, a lot of times where I felt like giving up and just like going back to the corporation. And I actually did. I ended up going back to work in the airport, still within the travel industry, but I ended up going back. I stayed there for about 2 months, and then I left and I said, that's it. Like, I'm done with this life. I don't want to do this anymore. I started exploring like my content ideas because I was always into like creating travel content, creating like different things for people. and to inspire people to also live this life. Like so many people that I meet traveling are like, oh my God, like you're traveling for so long. How do you do this? Like I have to go back home and work. And I'm like, it's not that hard. Like all you need to do is actually want to be able to do it, you know? And it's like a struggle for me growing up is like, I always said to myself, like I want to do something that inspires people. I want to do something that makes people happy, but also myself happy. Like a lot of content creators focus on just getting the content out there and getting millions of followers.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're so mentally unstable and they're not healthy and they're not happy. And it's like my balance is like I wanted to do both. I want to be able to inspire people. I want to travel and I want to make content in a way that it's like my mental health is thriving. I'm sharing, I'm inspiring and doing this with other people.
Yeah.
So all that being said, it came to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna change my life. I'm gonna try this out and I'm gonna do it. So I started creating content. It was not good in the beginning. Like it was terrible.
For how long have you been creating content now?
Creating content has been about a year and a half now. In the beginning, it was terrible, guys. Like it was so bad. I was getting maybe 50 views, 100 views on my things, maybe even less sometimes.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, you know, you have to start. And it was motivation because, you know, I see that it's getting out. I see that I'm actually putting in the effort. So I'm like, okay, let me just continue, and make more. And then I'm like, I don't want to just do like any type of content. Like I want it to be revolved around like travel and something that I love. So at this point, I'm like, okay. I set off, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go travel again. I'm gonna go do another Worldpackers experience and then I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna start posting content like crazy. And slowly and slowly, like I started being more comfortable. In the beginning, I was really uncomfortable because I was like, I don't wanna see my face on a camera. Like I don't know, this is so bad. I really didn't like seeing my face. I didn't like watching myself at all. I was really into like the aesthetics part of content and like creating like the big backdrops and like oceans and like sunrise, sunsets, all these things. I was really into that part, but I was so uncomfortable with showing my face. And then slowly time came and it's like I was sharing my content with people while traveling and they're like motivating me and they're like, you need to like pursue this, you need to get this out there, you need to show a face to your community.
Yeah.
And slowly I posted my first video showing my face, introducing myself as a travel creator, introducing myself of what I do. And that actually reached many people. So from that moment on, I started getting like more motivation.
How long ago was that?
This was probably about 8 months ago.
Okay.
8 months ago.
4 months into your content career.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So this was about 8 months ago. And I would say like for 6 months now is when I've really been like growing and pushing on things and doing things. And my approach to content is like not in a specific way where I want to have the best content and the most quality of film. Like for me, it matters to just reach the people in an inspiring way. I want people to share the experience, to volunteer and to travel and to not be stuck like in their hometown. Like a lot of backpackers set out on a trip and then they love it and they have the best time of their life. And then they're like, oh, like now I need to go home and work my job and do more things to be able to continue in my life. But
do we have some backpackers here? Like someone is backpacking Brazil right now? Ish?
traveling.
More a vacation than backpacking.
Okay.
How long are you traveling?
1 month.
This is traveling links.
Cool.
I think like vacation it would be like I would consider vacation like 1 or 2 weeks. I feel like when you stay for a month,
Yeah.
it's more like you're getting a more experience to travel
Yeah,
and
you get to travel
experience.
deeper, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, we follow your content for a while now, and we know that your motto is your freedom to roam is your power to grow. And I think this resonates a lot with those people who wake up feeling tired about their job, about their maybe relationship, about where they are in life at the moment. And I think this motto resonates with a lot of people. And we know that by traveling is one of the ways to solve this issue of that people have in their life. And by traveling like more slowly and more meaningfully, if I can say that,
Yeah.
like connecting with the local community and connecting deeply with people, than
Yes.
just like going somewhere, staying for 2 nights, packing your bags
Yeah.
and leaving and everything. I would love just to hear from you, like how this travel experience, like traveling more deeply, helped you through like having more power to grow.
Yes. So for me, the reason why I have this motto, freedom to roam, power to grow, I created this for myself because I'm going to be creating like a company along the lines to be able to share with people these experiences, some trips and inspirational places you can go in the world. For me, the most important thing for me when I'm traveling is to be able to connect with the cultures and connect with the people. I really believe in intentional travel. A lot of people, often backpackers, even myself included when I started, you know, the vibe is to like drink and party and meet people. Like we all like to drink and party and meet people, but it comes to a point where that's exhausting and that's tiring, and your social battery runs low. It's like you don't always want to drink, you don't always want to meet people. Sometimes you just want to immerse yourself in the country you're in and see the beauties and see it for what it is. And this was a strong message that I told myself when I started. It's like, I don't want to get too caught up in that like backpacking culture of like drinking and partying and everything like that. You know, I want to be able to do a more meaningful experience, and that's where freedom to roam, power to grow came in, because it's like if you have the freedom to be able to take that step and travel the world and see different things and meet different cultures, and then you can actually see how the world is. Because a lot of people, for example, I'm from Canada, and a lot of people in Canada live a certain life where it's like luxury is the main importance, and designer bags and having the best job and having the most money. But these things don't matter. Like this designer bag is not going to get you anywhere you need to be in life. For me, I've learned the most things out of traveling and seeing cultures, and I've learned about myself and who I want to be and how I want to portray myself to the world by meeting cultures. It's like I spent 8 months in Nicaragua working there and learning Spanish and immersing myself like with friends that I would never meet in a lifetime. Just by being there for 8 months, people opened up to me. People wanted to share their stories with me. It's like, you know, when you're a backpacker just passing through and just having a drink or just partying, people don't care to know you people don't care to know who you are. People don't care about anything. They just want to see you, get money from you, and then have you go, you know? But if they see that you're really taking the time in the country, communicating, spending time, being there long term, contributing to things that help them, you know, like creating events or just doing different things with them. Like in Nicaragua, what we did a lot of the time was like a beach cleanup, for example. And we would bring like all the locals from the town, which would like create like a little environment for them. It's like, you know, like all the little locals come and they meet us and we do this beach cleanup, and then we get food for them after and stuff like that. So it's like just little things like this is what makes the experience so much better. And that's why I choose to volunteer with Worldpackers, because in Worldpackers I get to stay in the countries long term and get to experience things versus, you know, hotels and stuff like that. You never get the same experience.
You're just not checking things from a list, right?
Exactly. And it's like an experience that you're never going to find anywhere else. Like the world is so big. It's so big. Like there's so many opportunities, so many places to go, so many places to see. And people spend their whole lives like just sitting in their hometown, doing nothing with their lives. Or they think that they're happy or doing a job that their parents want them to do. But life is about breaking out of like your comfort zone, being able to express yourself in a passionate way, doing things that make you creative, bringing your creativity, like doing the things that make you truly happy. Like everyone, when I was younger, even now, like everyone says like, oh, like I dream of doing this, like I want to do this, I dream of it. But it's like, dreams are actually obtainable if you put your mind to do your dream. Like, for example, for me, I never thought it was possible that I would like be here doing an event talking about my story and like doing that. And when I first started, I'm like, this is not going to be a thing. This is not possible. And now I'm literally here like explaining my story to everybody because I want them to experience, I want to inspire, I want to do these things too. So
this is something that I want to ask you too. What were like the biggest challenges that you faced when starting this whole 360 that you gave in your life? What was the biggest challenges and how did you overcome?
I think the biggest challenges was two main things. One, feeling kind of lonely, feeling like an imposter, to be honest, because it's like so much you see on social media that people are trying to do things and put out this image there that's like fake and not real. And like I never resonated with that. I didn't want to put that out to my community. I always wanted to show people the realism towards travel and like what it actually is. And there's times where you're gonna have mental breakdowns. Like I've had many mental breakdowns while traveling. I felt completely lonely. I've cried in many hostels, like I've cried everywhere. Honestly, every country, 24/7 I've cried. And
Backpacker 101.
yeah, I've cried 24/7. And I've cried to random people. I've cried on random backpackers' shoulders, like travelers' shoulders, because that's the community that we offer, you know? Travelers offer this community to each other versus in our hometowns, like often if you like are crying on the street and you go try to like hug someone, they're gonna be like, I'm calling the police, what are you doing? You know? But when you're in a traveling community of backpackers and people who are full of love, it's like no one cares the background you come from, no one cares how much money you have, no one cares about anything. Like they just want to be together. Everybody wants a community of understanding, people to get to know each other, a community where you can be whoever you want to be and you'll be accepted, you know? And that's really where I started thriving and what I wanted to share with people. But, you know, you do feel so lonely at times because there's times where it's like you're sitting there and you're like, who's actually my real friends? You know, like I love these people, they're amazing, but I'm gonna see them for 5 days and then I'm probably never gonna see them again.
Yeah, and there's some times that you're having like oh my god. Okay, that was a bug here. There's some times where you have like you're in a bad day or something like that and you just want to talk to someone who knows you like deeply.
Exactly.
And there's no one around you to talk to, right?
And there's been times like that, like where I've had like mental breakdowns because I've had no one that knows me and no one who understands. And then slowly you start learning to be comfortable with yourself. Like in the beginning, I was so uncomfortable of thinking in my own head and being by myself because of like my past relationship, because of my past family history, like because of so many things. I was just so uncomfortable with being myself. And then traveling has built me to be such like an independent person and being able to be so happy just to do the things on my own. Like I'm gonna go to a coffee shop by myself and sit there and do what I want. I'm gonna go hike a mountain. Like I'm gonna go do all these things by myself and I don't need people's company to satisfy me. Like I can satisfy myself and that's what I learned like along the way. But you know, it takes a long time to get there and it takes the courage to actually program your mindset that you need a reset. You need to start living these things and slowly and slowly, like it starts to happen, like with time, and it happens.
And one question that people ask a lot when it comes to traveling, especially full-time traveling, a lot of people, especially I think some of you here, you have seen people traveling online and be like, how can this person afford to do so? Everyone thinks, wonders about this like financially and also emotionally, like what you were saying here. But can you walk us through a little bit like, how could you afford to start traveling, like quitting your job and everything?
So in the beginning, it was very difficult. Financial struggles was something that played in my mind a lot because I'm like, I need to figure out how I'm going to travel, which was Worldpackers was the main thing that motivated me because with Worldpackers, like we were mentioning before, you don't need to be able to pay. You have to be able to exchange your time. So you can choose your skills and there's many different skills that one can have to exchange, you know? And for example, for me, I've done many different things. I've been a tour guide. I've worked as a content creator. I worked on an active volcano. I worked as a surf guide in a surf camp. Like I've done so many random things. And it's like when I tell someone that story, they're like, I don't understand. Like, how have you done all these jobs? And like, at your age, you know, it doesn't make any sense.
But I'm like, right?
And like, Worldpackers is what's like, how you do that.
Yeah.
But with the financial struggles, you know, it's like, you need to basically make a plan for yourself. When I started off, I was such a budget traveler. I slept on the ground so many times. Like, I ate like bread for weeks on end, just be able to like to experience and to meet people and to travel the world because I wanted that experience for myself. It's like, comes to a point though where it can become an unhealthy habit, and this is something that I want to talk about a lot because a lot of people glorify being a broke backpacker, and you know what, it's not all pretty times. Like it's it shouldn't be glorified to be a broke backpacker, you know. To be a backpacker is an incredible experience and I love it and it's incredible, but to be a broke backpacker, you don't want to lose your mental health to travel the world. You want to have your mental health and you want to travel the world at the same time. You know, you want to do everything all together. So it's like finding that in between where you can basically find some course of income, find something that makes you happy, find something to do. A lot of things that's coming a lot in this generation is being a digital nomad. So being able to find a job online and being able to exchange your time with Worldpackers. So so I did have a little bit of money saved up when I started. When I started the journey, in the beginning, I was also a waitress at some casinos, along with being a flight attendant. So, which is completely a different
You were
industry.
booked before traveling.
Yeah, it was a completely different industry than now. Like waitressing at a casino to traveling the world, like it's two completely different things. But I did have some savings from this, so I started my journey with that. But then again, it was like budget for me. like really like no extra things, no drinks at the bar, no anything. And then slowly, like I started pushing out my content, reaching out to brands, trying to evolve, trying to grow. And within the last 8 months is when everything has been growing and evolving, and my content is growing and thriving, and everything is working out slowly.
I'm glad to hear that everything is working out for you. I just have one more question before we open the mic for everyone to ask questions if you do have it. So my final question would be, you have your motto, your freedom to roam is your power to grow, and you are like a year into your new journey of life.
360.
Yeah. So I would love to hear like what are your idea of future, what are your future plans? Can you share this a little bit with us?
Yeah. So my goal for basically short-term future is what I've been in the works for a couple months now is launching my own company. It's going to be a travel company. The goal is to be able to have multiple blogs to inspire people on different cultures in the world, different places they can visit and stuff like that. It's also going to have custom-made itineraries for people. So I'm actually in the course of getting my travel agent cards. So it's going to be a certification where I'll be able to offer people like special packages worldwide, plan things out for them. But it's all going to be based off unique experiences. So it's not just going to be like, okay, I'm going to go to a hotel in Turks and Caicos, like a fancy place, you know?
A resort.
Exactly. It's going to be like all unique experiences and all backpacker oriented. So it's going to be all for budget travel friendly. It's going to be all for this community that I'm trying to build and stuff like that. Collab with brands, and also longer term making like cinematography, travel movies and stuff like that. And then I will be opening a hostel. So I haven't shared this news with a lot of people yet, but I'm going to be opening a hostel within the next 3 years.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea where?
So for sure it's going to be in Central America. I'm still like networking like all the places and figuring out the situation, but the whole business plan is already created. I have one partner, my best friend. We're doing it together. So we're trying to like bring everything together, get the whole back ends, the business plan and stuff like that, and bring everything together. So there is like many steps, many future things. But then again, it's like I have so much problem with like focusing on one thing. I want to do millions of things, but we all have this problem.
And keep traveling, right?
Keep traveling.
Yeah.
That's number one. So I am a full-time traveler. I tend to keep traveling, keep using Worldpackers, keep making content, and inspire people to do the same thing. Like, traveling is not that hard. You have to have a good mental state. That's one advice I have to give to you guys. Like, your mental state needs to be okay enough to be able to be okay with yourself, you know? Because you will be lonely, you will have mental breakdowns.
In a different culture, in a
you
different
will
language.
have culture shock. Culture shock, 1,000%, you will have this. But you know what comes after is the most rewarding thing I've ever experienced. And it's possible. It's possible for anybody. So if I did it, you guys can do it. I started from nothing, like absolutely zero, being lazy on my couch, like doom scrolling, and now I'm here talking with you guys.
In Brazil.
In Brazil, on top of it. So yeah.
So thank you for sharing your whole journey with us.
Thank you
I'm
for
really
having
inspired.
me.
I hope you're all are too. And now I would love to open the mic so you can maybe ask questions for Eliora, so she can talk a little bit more and help you throughout your journeys. Does anyone have any questions?
What would be like the best advice for someone who has never done like backpacking and who is shy, like not used to go out of his comfort zone and stuff?
So my advice is actually Worldpackers. I'm not just saying that because, you know, we're from Worldpackers. It's really because I've used this for the last 3 years of traveling. And the good thing about it is when you start as Worldpackers, like when you sign up for the platform, when you sign up for everything, you have a huge community of girls, of guys, of everybody who does the same thing as you. Everybody has the same goal, you know? Our same goal is to travel. We all want to see the world. We all want to experience things. And you know, when you're shy starting off, sometimes you're scared to approach the people, but this is so nice because the people often approach you. The people often reach out to you and say, oh, you're gonna be in this country, like, let's meet up, let's do something. And you know, that's how it all started. When I first started, I was so shy and so anxious, like,
Really?
to be honest, I was not a talkative person. I always liked meeting people, but once I came out of my shell and stuff like that, and then I started like seeing like people reaching out to me, other people talking to me, like, and that's how I became more comfortable because I realized like other people are also really anxious and other people are shy as well. Like, let's have a beer and become unanxious and talk, you know. So it's actually really nice because there's so many people who want to get started off and don't know a direction. And often when you do a volunteer experience, there's other volunteers already there. So normally there's like maybe between 4 to 10 volunteers at the volunteer exchange with you. So for example, this hostel here,
They have around 7
They have around
volunteers.
7 volunteers right now. So it's like when you go for the first time, you're not going to be alone. It's not like you're going to a country, no one speaks your language, you will not talk with anyone, you know? Everybody's from all over the world. Like right now they have volunteers here from like
The UK.
the UK, the States, like they have volunteers from all over the world. So no matter who you are, like no matter what language you speak, like there's other people that's going to be doing the same thing as you. And there's also like so many communities, like that's what made me feel comfortable. There's so many communities out there, like on Instagram, on WhatsApp. I love WhatsApp because it's a place where everybody can kind of communicate together, like from all countries.
There's some Facebook groups as well that you can join,
Yeah.
like backpackers or nomads and everything.
And this is what made me feel more comfortable to go and approach the people, knowing like there's communities and stuff like that where I can meet people and like meetups. And like, for example, like here tonight, we're doing this for the first time, a travel meetup, you know, like to bring people together, discuss different things. But like, this is only the beginning. We're going to be doing this like so much more, like bringing people together, talking about like your fears, why you're so shy to travel, like getting out into the world, experiencing. So it's this.
How do you think you can stay like in a great mind place so you can keep growing this for so long? Like, do you go to therapy? Like, do you have something that you do? What do you do?
So for me, what helps me a lot with like all of these feelings is journaling. I get through a lot of my feelings through journaling and writing it all down and writing about how I feel in that moment. And then after, like when I come out of like this little rut of like feeling unhappy and feeling like I want to go home, I go back and I also read like the good times too. And I read about how I feel in this moment, and like I make it really descriptive. Like I write every emotion that I feel in the moment, and then I read back on it and I'm like, if I feel like this happy and this satisfied when I'm seeing a beautiful place, like when I do a hike and I get to the top of a mountain, like personally I love hikes, they're not for everyone, but you know, but you know, like I read these emotions and I'm like, this is how I felt in this moment. Like this beats anything, this beats all my sadness, this beats the mental struggles I'm having right now, because if I can feel like this, seeing the most beautiful places in the world, like it is worth it. It's meant to do it for a reason. And there's times where, you know, I struggle too, like I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna say like I have everything figured out, because I honestly don't even have the start figured out. Like I have just the beginning, you know? And this is when it's like, right now is my beginning. I'm really starting to be comfortable and to share my story with people. But you know, it's like you will have mental breakdowns and you will miss your family. You're gonna miss the people, but it's embracing the fact that it's like my family will always be at home and I will always feel their love from a distance, and I'll always feel my friends' love from a distance. But this is what I need to do to see the world. Like my goal is to see the world and experience cultures. And it's like my best friend who is somewhere else, for example, she is never going to see something, for example, that I've seen before. And it's like, as much as I miss her and I love her, it's like I get to go home and have, you know, the courage and the happiness to go and tell her, my family, my friends, about these experiences.
Yeah.
And sometimes I tell my family, for example, I worked in Nicaragua for 8 months and I boarded down an active volcano like every day. Like
Wow.
you hike a volcano and then you take a board down the active volcano every day. And it's like when I'm telling my family this experience, they're like, this is not real. This is not a thing that you do. And I'm like, no, like it is. Look, like it's real. So there's times where I miss them so much. Like I cry so much time when I travel. It's a part of it. Like, you know, we're only human. People try to like hide their emotions.
And people
so
get
much.
more sensitive when they're traveling. I
Oh
get the
yeah.
impression.
Oh yeah. I've never been as sensitive as I am traveling. Every happy moment I cry. Every sad moment I cry. I cry 24/7, but I am an emotional person. So I think the biggest lesson personally that it taught me was that everybody has a story. Everybody portrays themselves to be a certain way to the public and to act a certain way and to have the most things, but you know, everybody has a background, everybody has a culture that they come from, everybody has a story. And traveling has made me so adaptive to the cultures. When I first started, it's like, it was the culture shock and everything that made me be so anxious. And now it's like, I love learning about the people's stories and their culture and everything. And I learned that you need to be open, you know? You need to have an open mind. There's gonna be someone that tells you something and it's gonna like hit you in your gut and you're gonna wonder, like, how do these people go through this experience and they're still okay to walk the streets and go out and meet people? It's like everybody has a different background, everybody's experienced something. Some people have lost loved ones, some people have, you know, endured the most pain you can possibly endure, and it's like they still have the courage to share with you that story is something that's incredible, and something that I love to experience when traveling is hearing the people's stories. And that's why often when I travel, I go to someone and it's like, let's go out, let's do something, and it's like often we're sharing each other like the most intimate, deep stories, and I'm like, I don't know how this is happening right now, but I trust you with my life.
You're like, what is your name again?
Yeah.
You know my deepest secrets.
It's literally this. It's literally this. Most of the time, I don't even know people's names, but they know my deepest, darkest secrets all the time, and it just creates that sense of community where you feel comfortable to do that. And that's the lesson I learned, really, to have an open mind and to understand that not everybody comes from the background that you come from. You know, I come from Canada. In Canada, we have good health care there. We are okay in Canada. We have certain things that is not good, like the government and stuff like that, that is like, you know, failing on some certain aspects. But on other points, like, you know, life is well up there. We have clean water, we have food to eat, we have homeless shelters. In other countries, you know, you'll be walking in the street and there'll be millions of people in the street who don't have homes. And to someone who has not traveled before, this can be extremely shocking. And then with time, it becomes eye-opening. And for me, it's completely eye-opening, and I truly love it because it shows me what the world really is. You know, I'm not stuck learning from the people that I know. You know, I'm learning from everybody abroad, and it's great. It's great.
Nice. So we have one more question. This will be the final one, and then we can go talk more.
I think for me, the hardest part to backpacking, it's literally packing. Then, because you have a lot of things to put in a small package, and so you have tips to packing in a small,
like packing your bag to be able to
yes.
So for me, this was a huge struggle in the beginning. Still to this day, it's a struggle because I like clothes. I like to wear different things when I travel. Like I like dresses and all these things, which is like so big to put in your bag. A really good thing that I've been using when it comes to packing is packing cubes. It's like the randomest thing, but it actually helps me so much to be able to organize everything and to realistically like look at the things I'm bringing and say like, okay, realistically, am I gonna wear these rainbow pants over here?
Probably not.
In Europe, for example, probably not. You know, it's like I want to bring it, but I'm not gonna use it. So it's like really like making like a list and narrowing it down. You know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna bring like 2 shorts, 5 t-shirts, and like narrowing it down. And like seeing like the things I love the most. But packing cubes is basically like condenses everything and makes it like so much easier to be able to like bring everything and have a backpack. And also an important thing is to have, if you're going to be using a backpack, some people use suitcases when traveling. Personally, I find it very hard to travel with a suitcase, but if you're going to be using a backpack, try to find one that's comfortable, you know, because a lot of the time people complain like your shoulders are breaking and you cannot like feel your back anymore. So make sure like you do research, find a comfortable bag. It doesn't have to be expensive. Like so many people opt for like the most expensive bags you can find. Like no, it doesn't need to be expensive. Like just find the thing that suits you. And
the good thing about packing cubes is that it also helps you to get organized at a hostel. Like just stay organized throughout your stay.
In the beginning when I wasn't using packing cubes, like sometimes volunteers were telling me like, Ellie, like get your shit together. Like why is your things all over the place? Like why is your brush here and your shoes here and your things here? I'm like, sorry guys, like I'm just a girl trying to figure it out.
You did.
And I did. So now like I'm way more organized. I have it all together. Packing cubes, like you just put it all in your sections in your hostel. Usually like when you're a volunteer in a hostel or even staying in a hostel as a traveler, you have like a space for your stuff, a locker or like a space under your bed, something like that, and it helps you organize so much more. But still not perfect at all.
So thank you so much for sharing your whole journey with us.
Thank you for
It takes a lot
having me.
of vulnerability to share your story, both on social media and also here with real faces looking at you. So thank you for opening up. I'm sure a lot of people here and also online are feeling inspired. So thank you for coming.
Thank you. I just want to take the time to thank you guys. For being here. I've done a lot of marketing for other companies, like being in person, doing marketing for other companies, sharing their stories, but this is the first time I've ever shared my story in person. with an audience, having a crew, having everybody here. So I'm really happy to be doing this experience. I was very nervous for today, but I'm really happy to be here with you guys and want to thank Worldpackers for having me here, experiencing this together. This is new for Worldpackers too. It's actually the first event, in-person event that we're doing. So thank you guys. First and many to come, yes.
Yes. So yeah, thank you everyone. Now we're going to go downstairs to keep the talk going, to talk more about traveling and having more beers that we have here already. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining. You're more than welcome to follow Worldpackers on Instagram. And if you have any questions about traveling, backpacking, or volunteering, etc., we'll be downstairs to talk.
Thank you guys.
And thank you for those who are online listening as well.